Good afternoon, and thank you for joining the inaugural From Paws to Claws Alumni Speakers Visionary 2020 series. We wish to extend a heartfelt welcome to our first-time participants. If you're returning, we are equally welcome you back. Your Office of Alumni Relations appreciates each of you. Today, we will have another moment of hearing and receiving knowledge from this week's alumni panelists. The alumni will expound on pertinent topics that will support our students, recent graduates, as well as alumni who are seeking career change. And we are grateful to each individual who wishes to lend support to this series. As always, we wish to thank the alumni panelists, especially those presenting today, and those who have participated in the last 6 months. We did not seek you out, yet you came running with the spirit of a mighty panther, which we are, sharing your knowledge base when the call to participate went forth. This webinar is our newest series from Paws to Claws, and we are still dedicating it to the Perfect Vision class of 2020 as they exercise their ability to be visionaries. Let me share a tad bit of history on the Office of Alumni Relations signature event. The Alumni Student Networking event was originally designed in 2008 when Kareem Taylor, class of 2010, in his sophomore year, expressed that students should be engaged and learn from alumni of our one exceptional university. Over the years, we continuously call on members of the alumni community to embrace our alumni waiting, who are commonly known as students. We encircle them until they become a member of our alma mater. As Panther clubs, they develop through discovery, academically, socially, and spiritually, finding their way as their paws grow claws, and become fully entrenched felines of service locally, nationally, and globally, while remembering to provide financial support to the institution that placed them on their path of well-rounded citizens. There is so much more to the program and events. Please feel free to read the entire historical review in the alumni section on the CAU website. As we begin our exchange on this day, I would like to express thanks to my colleague, Chastity B. Evans, class of 2010, who serves as the program manager in the Office of Alumni Relations. She will be your host, for she created this space for our interaction. Chastity, it is now time for you to begin our conversation.
Thank you so much, alumna Gaylene Gatefoot-Joshua, for that treasure introduction and credible context. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for joining your Office of Alumni Relations for the Vision 2020 series, Avoiding the 7 Deadly Sins of LinkedIn. An exceptional thank you to alumna Dr. Michelle Rhodes, Program Specialist for the Office of Online Learning and Continuing Education, for being the technical guru behind all of our OIR's webinars. Are you ready for a career change, but not sure where to start? Taking this lunch break with your Office of Alumni Relations will allow you to explore the most of your resume, LinkedIn profile, interviews, and more. LinkedIn continues to evolve as a professional networking and personal branding tool. Today is often the first place recruiters go to search for talent or learn more about potential job candidates. This session will challenge you to review and update your LinkedIn profile, focusing on 7 crucial areas. Just a little housekeeping for today. Before we get started, if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box in your Zoom control panel. I'll be sure to bring them up during our Q&A session to discuss. Now, without further ado, introducing our first panelist for this afternoon, Andrea Henderson. Andrea Henderson has over 20 years of experience as an international human resources professional working with domestic and global organizations, large and small, to maximize their investment and talent. Mint Green Info was created to provide career education based on her experience working with candidates transitioning from college to career, changing industries, or seeking highly competitive positions with top tier firms. Through Mint Green Info, Andrea also works with small business owners, speakers, authors, and solopreneurs to help them brand themselves on LinkedIn. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram at Mint Green Info. Alumna Henderson obtained a BS from the Edmund A. Wash School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University, an MA in International Relations from Clark Atlanta University, and an MBA from Columbia's Business School. She has been an adjunct professor at several colleges and is a highly sought after speaker on career and personal branding issues. One fun fact about Alumna Henderson: she was the first Miss Graduate student on the CAU Homecoming Court and is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. How are you doing today, Alumna Henderson? And thank you so much for always continuing to serve your alma mater.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm extremely honored to be here, and I look forward to what I know is going to be a very engaging conversation.
Well, thank you. We're going to go into your first question for today so we can get to rocking and rolling. Alumna Henderson, do you agree that LinkedIn is an easier avenue to access people we'd like to connect to and conduct business with? But it does not mean that we will always become successful with this tool, especially if we approach the platform incorrectly. Grammar is very important when reaching out to people we'd like to connect with. If we do not take the time to spell check our work, this will say a lot about ourselves to the potential connection. Do you sense this deadly sin will make our message go unanswered or fall on deaf ears?
That's a great question. And I would say certainly proofreading your message is important. Avoiding grammatical errors and typos is important. But what I want people to think of is that it is a professional platform to connect with people. So the same energy that you would put into writing an email to your boss or to your professor, you should put into writing to a connection on LinkedIn. Now, I don't want people to be intimidated about that and hesitate to connect. You don't have to be an English major, but you want to put some time and effort into it. If you're asking people to join their professional networks, you want them to feel like you've put some time and energy into it, and you respect that time and energy by at least proofreading your message.
Exactly. I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, definitely you don't want to connect with someone who has, an email full of errors. I mean, even if it's on the go or not, if you really want that connection or that job or that interview, you're going to treat it like you said, just like it's your current boss or, that annual report or something like that. You want it to be flawless. So what about trolling?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, well, I was agreeing with you and just wanted to add that when you're connecting on the platform, there's no need to write a dissertation. Keep it short and to the point, and that should make it easier. So the messages, people are busy and you should get directly to the point. You don't need to be worried about being direct.
Exactly. Now, what about trolling? I mean, it's perfectly fine to comment on someone else's thread, but please just make sure you're not simply using their post to advertise your own product or service. When people exclusively participate on LinkedIn in this way, it becomes obvious, and appears slightly desperate. So, should we focus more on adding to the conversation in a relevant way, or how should a person appear?
Absolutely. The key is that you want to treat the platform like you would network in person. So the same way you wouldn't walk up to a person and say, "I need a job. Can you hire me?" You should not be so self-serving on LinkedIn. It's a community, and you want to add value to the community. There is a very well-known marketing personality by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V for short, and he has uh, a methodology that he calls a $1.80 per day process, where if you drop your 2 cents uh, several times per day, then you can quickly build a community and still add value. You can comment on someone's post to ask a thoughtful question. You can be supportive. Cheerleaders are welcome, but don't overdo it. And also, adding value in terms of additional content is also helpful. But what is not helpful is being very self-serving and having it be all about you. Me. I need a job. I want a connection. I want this. I want that. Add some value, pay a compliment, um, applaud people for their accomplishments, but don't troll.
Trolling is knowing, okay? So, some good important points to take back from alumna Henderson's conversation today. Put the same energy, time, and effort that you would into like an everyday conversation like we're having now. Don't write a dissertation. This is a platform, a social media platform, and you want to keep it quick and easy to the point because people are busy. But sometimes people may appreciate that, by you taking the time to be respectful of their time and treat the platform like it is a social media platform. Don't go over, with it. Don't be so self-serving. Add value to it. And also check out Gary V, a $1.80 per day methodology, because I'm definitely going to check that out. I haven't heard that, but I'm going to look into that. So, yes. Thank you so much, Alumna Henderson, for your astuteness and for the information. And, we'll definitely be sure to provide you with closing remarks because I know there's a lot that we definitely need to learn and understand about LinkedIn. So that's why this will be a 3-part series because we want people to, dig deeper into LinkedIn. It's not just a platform that you can go and just put your resume on. It's so much more. And we want our people to utilize it correctly. So thank you.
Yes.
If you all have any questions for Alumna Henderson, please type them into your Q&A box in your Zoom control panel now, and we'll be sure to get to them during our Q&A session. Thank you again. Introducing our next panelist for this afternoon, everyone, is alumnus CJ Mitchell. Alumnus Mitchell is an entrepreneur and product manager with over 10 years of experience building mobile and web applications for enterprise corporations. He has worked in key leadership roles for Dell, Walmart, CareerBuilder, and Wayfair. As a former product leader to one of the largest recruitment platforms in the world, CareerBuilder, Alumnus Mitchell has extensive experience in both hiring and recruiting candidates from tech platforms and the tips and tricks to getting noticed. Welcome, Alumnus Mitchell. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself and everyone else?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And thank you so much for being a part of our panel today and for always serving your alma mater.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go ahead and get down to the expert questions because, you definitely may be able to teach us $1.80 to keep us rolling.
Absolutely.
So what is your time on, what is your take on being needy? Instead, having a little bit of confidence, as they say, act like you belong at the table. What is a more effective way of building a foundation for a productive business relationship? No first invaders for CAU here. As they say, fake it till you make it. So how can we make it?
Yeah, I've used LinkedIn in multiple ways for both seeking and receiving investment from investors and connecting with investors into businesses to connecting with recruiters and getting actual jobs. I guess the trick is to find out what it is your actual goal is. So, for example, if you primarily want to use LinkedIn as a networking tool to help get a business off the ground, or like I said, get investors, then the easiest way would be something that Jeff Busgang called. He wrote a book called Mastering the VC Game, where he explicitly talks about this. The easiest way to connect with investors and stuff are to connect with other entrepreneurs that they've invested with, other CEOs, other CTOs, other entrepreneurs, and and especially a recent entrepreneur that they invested with, because it's a lot easier to get a soft intro offline by connecting with somebody online that they just recently funded or they recently connected with. And it's a similar idea with recruiters as well. Recruiters are constantly searching. They're using the search query to find people. So if you make sure that your LinkedIn profile accurately has the right buzzwords, so if you're looking to be a marketer, for example, you need to make sure that your headline says marketer. You have a job title that says something with marketing, market research, or what have you. You need to have specific skill sets around marketing. And when they use those search queries, they will actually search and find you. And most importantly, there's a tab on the LinkedIn site where it allows you to set your job preferences to actively seeking. You need to say you're actively seeking and put in the type of roles or jobs that you're looking for. Recruiters will find you. It's a lot easier to get people to come to you when they've heard about you through someone else or they find you through a search query.
Interesting. And I literally just saw that about a couple of months ago that they just added the actively seeking and or if
Yep,
you're looking for employment or if you're not looking for employment. How is that going?
correct.
Being a recruiter.
Yeah, I mean, it goes actively well. Like, so for example, for me, I don't even have mine on anymore because when I have like actively seeking on, I'm not even joking. I get contacted at least 7 to 10 times a week by recruiters for product management roles, senior leadership roles. Like right now, I'm in a happy relationship with my job, so I have to kind of put on my wedding ring, if you will, and kind of turn it off. Right, like leave me alone. I'm together. But yeah, but if you have it actively seeking, oh, they will come find you. They will come seeking you out. Especially it kicked up big time after the events of the George Floyd
Yes.
happening, and a
Mhm.
lot of people started to really understand it and try. A lot of companies started trying to make it a asserted effort to try to do their part and helping to do social justice and what have you. So I started to get a lot. That's why I turned it off by Fortune 500 companies from Facebook to Google to Microsoft to Dell to Nike, like you name it. Like every time I was looking at my LinkedIn, I'm like, oh wow, like it's another cool company. But I say right
Look,
now I'm not actively seeking. But
let
but yeah, if you have that on, that's the number one way that they find you though.
let us find out you moving to Oregon to go work for Nike, okay?
Nah, 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 nah. I'm good. I'm Wayfair right now. They're treating me fantastic, so I'm good. Yeah, I'm
Yay.
good.
And we
Yes,
love
I'm good with Wayfair.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, do we expect too much today? I mean, no one owes anything your time, therefore we should. I feel like as this generation, we have to definitely stop acting like it. There are plenty of people who are willing to help those they don't know, but that number will quickly diminish if we approach someone in a way that shows that we feel entitled to their time or their expertise. So, what are some ways to grow, this relationship? We want our questions to become the one they answer or they enjoy answering the most that day. So, they'll jump or they'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember that person the next time that we send them an email or, shoot them a message or comment on their post or something.
All right. This is my number one tip on this. I tend to do my research on people, and this is where it gets scary, believe it or not. But if you find people on social media, you will be surprised what you can find out about that person the information that they will give up publicly. It's public information. They will let you know what shows they watch, what dances they go to, what music they listen to, how they feel politically, what sandwiches they eat, the whole nine, right? And most of the times you'll see people's Twitter, Instagram right on their social media page. Before I contact someone, I will just go and just start browsing recent tweets. Hey, what are they watching? Oh, they're a Bears fan? Great. I'm a Bears fan. So now I can just come in and say, hey, I noticed that you were a Bears fan, and I can just talk to them. I can ask them a question about something that they care about, right? People are more likely to respond, and they're going to be like, huh, that's weird. Like, you asked me about Game of Thrones. Like, what makes you know that I feel I know about that? And I asked them a Game of Thrones question. And next thing you know, we're talking back and forth. And then now I've been able to build rapport with this person. That works incredibly well with entrepreneurs, especially like successful entrepreneurs, because they're used to talking. You can't be a successful entrepreneur with being quiet. So they're used to going out and networking and meeting with people. So if you find that one thing that an entrepreneur is interested in and just talk to them about that, especially if it's not their company, they'll be your friend for life. Once again, that's another method from Jeff Busgang's Mastering the VC Game. Just find a way to connect with people, read their blogs. Just take a second. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. That's why I had to learn, because I was doing it, to really be mindful of the things that I post on social media, because it gets kind of scary what you can find out about somebody in less than 5 minutes just by finding their Twitter and their Instagram. Seriously.
And don't let them have that premium, because then they can really find it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And people connected. People openly say, yes, this is my Twitter on their LinkedIn, and you go to their Twitter and it's like, oh wow, now they're giving me everything. They're giving me their daughters, their family, the dance recitals, everything. Like, wow, okay. Now I can just ask you about, tap dancing. Like, hey, I'm thinking about putting my son in the tap dancing. I noticed your daughter's in it. And they're going to be like, huh?
What's a good studio to go to? I live in the area.
Correct. There you go.
If you don't mind, can you please drop the Jeff Busgame's book, or either,
Sure.
We can definitely look it up, as well as Henderson. Please drop the Gary B as well, because that'll be something definitely that we would like to ensure that our attendees take a look at. All right, guys,
Absolutely.
some quick words and information to take back from alumnus Mitchell. Definitely find out what your actual goal is. Utilize the right buzzwords to ensure that the recruiters can pick it up when they're searching for things. It's pretty much searching for you, because you need a job, or you're looking to change careers, or whatever the case may be within your lifestyle. Have specific words that need to be picked up, and conduct your research on people. Public information is free. It's free. There is no excuse. If you look on my Instagram, you can see that I love good old Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Clark Atlanta University, UGA, Pike County, Georgia. Yes, I am a country girl, and I love being in the country. So I have nothing to hide. Check. Thank you, alumnus Mitchell. It's all about this boasting today. We're doing
Absolutely.
great. And we're going to have you again, because in this 3-part series, we definitely got to look up some more information and definitely dive deeper into LinkedIn. So if you all have any questions for alumnus Mitchell, please definitely type them into our Q&A box in the Zoom control panel now. We'll be sure to get to them during our Q&A session. Go Bears! Not really, but go Bears. Introducing our next panelist for this afternoon is where is she? There she is. Hello, alumna Avery Liggins.
Hello.
Hello. Alumna Liggins is a graduate of Clark Atlanta University, class of 2013, with a degree in political science. Knowing this was the school for her, Clark Atlanta was the only school she applied to, a decision she has never regretted. During her matriculation at CAU, she served as second attendant to Miss CAU, Miss Pre-Alumni Council, and founded the CAU section of the National Council of Negro Women. She went on to further her education by attending Georgia State University, earning a Master's of Public Administration. Currently, alumna Liggins works in the office of Governor Nathan Deal in Georgia. She is the CEO of Black Business. That's not Deal. That is Kemp, Mr. Brian Kemp. So had to catch myself on that one. Excuse me, Governor Kemp, although, we like you sometimes. She is the CEO of Black Business Connect, an organization dedicated to assisting Black entrepreneurs to start or grow their business. Alumna Liggins has distinguished herself as a leading organizer and strategist with proven business savvy. Ever the visionary, she endeavors to expand the imprint of the Black dollar, therefore increasing the sustainability of Black businesses. As first Vice President of the Greater Atlanta section of the National Council of Negro Women, she continues her passion for civic engagement and community service. Alumna Liggins credits her success to the instruction received from CAU and loves giving back by mentoring students and volunteering on webinar panels at CAU. Welcome, Alumna Liggins. How are you doing today?
Well, and yourself, and no harm done. I do not work for Governor Kemp, so it is okay.
All right now. Sounds, hey, it's all good. You know, we definitely appreciate you being in those offices, you know, because it's not that many brown faces in those areas. And we appreciate your courage and your wisdom and your intellect of definitely showing face.
Always
So,
a pleasure to get back.
ma'am, yes, ma'am. So we're definitely going to go into your first question for this afternoon. Benjamin Harrison, LinkedIn expert and the creator of Smart Pitch. He's an awesome guy. I love him. A program that teaches inventors how to use LinkedIn to submit their ideas for products, coined the term non-consensual submission. In his view, we all think our products and services are the best things since sliced bread. But by shoving our marketing materials down someone's throat rather than asking them for permission first, you are setting the opposite of an advantageous tone. So, what do you feel we should do to develop and create a healthy LinkedIn relationship by not being too shovey?
I am so glad you asked this question because it is perfect. This actually has happened to me several times this year. And one of the more recent experiences was a few weeks ago, someone reached out to me and we didn't really know each other on LinkedIn, but she added me to her email list without my permission. And so when you do that, it comes across as inconsiderate and disrespectful because we really had not had a connection or an introduction. So you want to make sure you're respectful of what you send to them. What is more appropriate is to maybe send something of value to them if you're not going to meet with them in person, or you can schedule a business introduction meeting. And even when you schedule that business introduction meeting, that's not the time to pitch your, whether you want a career or whether you want to collaborate on services. Just ask what can you do to be a benefit to them. So I always like to know, what is the brand about, get to know them and know if they need like a client or if they need just support in whatever they need. What do they need from me and how can I help them?
Interesting. You know, I've actually had that situation occur with me as well. And I'm starting to see that not only is it occurring a lot on LinkedIn, but it's also occurring on Facebook and on Instagram. Like they're starting to, you know, to get into your inboxes. And when they feel that they have that right to pitch, next thing you know, you're receiving all the spam mail. And it's like, I didn't ask for that. Or I don't even know you like that to, you know, make this investment or want to invest. So those are very great points that you made. It's okay to get personal at times, you know, but remember, this is a place for business. You're trying to connect with people professionally. So LinkedIn content, especially video, has had amazing reach over the last few years. But just because you can post something doesn't mean you should. LinkedIn is a tool for branding. Tell us about how your company utilized LinkedIn to create its professional brand, and what are some pros and cons Black women moguls execute in order to, you know, ensure that they are taking advantage of their branding.
Thank you so much. And I have to definitely echo what CJ said earlier about utilizing those keywords in my title. And I'm always am like weary of like what I put out on like on the internet, but LinkedIn is the place to position yourself as the expert. So by my name, I also have brand strategists and then other things that I want to be known for. And without even having to promote myself, there are other things that I do, but right now there are 77 people waiting in my LinkedIn inbox because of those keywords. I'm still just trying to figure out how exactly they found me. And that could either be through the brand strategist keyword, or sometimes I will utilize hashtags because it is technically a social media platform. So whenever I post videos of me speaking, or say I'm going to be speaking at this event next week, I make sure that I utilize those hashtags appropriately. And that also shows how well that I'm an expert in my industry. And actually someone reached out to me maybe like a few weeks ago based off of a post because they hadn't seen me in a while. They're like, oh, hey, there's Avery, just because of something I posted. So even if you're approaching it from an employee looking for a job, it's okay to maybe just post like things that you've done, projects you've worked on, and utilize those hashtags.
Interesting. I mean, it's now in this world, in this century, in this generation, it is hashtags. It's all about the hashtags. You can like look up stuff from way back when just from searching a hashtag. And I don't know, but I feel like that is like the best thing since sliced bread, because I can definitely see CAU homecomings from all the way back to like 2015, 2014, 2012, whenever hashtags began to become more popular, on certain types of platforms, just by typing that in and just scrolling down and looking at all the images and stuff like that, which is awesome, to a point, depending on what you're looking for. So some things to take back from alumna Liggins is always, ensuring that you utilize those keywords, because keywords are the thing now. It's the new normal. So definitely utilizing those keywords, but utilizing them appropriately. Ensuring that you schedule a business meeting first before, just coming into someone's box or adding them to a email merger list, or just trying to speak to them about something that they know nothing of, because it's all about that introduction. You need to introduce yourself first, not necessarily pitch it, but introduce yourself, and then move in, once you understand and fully understand them and know them. And then last but not least, understanding how your hashtags and understanding social media and how to utilize them appropriately, and not for yourself, but also for your business and for your brand. So awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Alumna Liggins, for breaking it down and for bringing your awareness. If you all have any questions for Alumna Liggins, please type them into our Q&A box in your Zoom control panel now, and we'll be sure to get to them during our Q&A session. We do apologize, but alumnus Bergen will not be able to be with us today. He did end up having a last-minute hands-on meeting with his VP, so we're hoping some great things do turn out for him in that part. He does work for a career builder, so hopefully he will be on our next webinar, and we can definitely see what it is that he would like to offer to the plate for CAU. He is a 2011 graduate of Clark Atlanta University, and we do hate that we missed him, but we know that he'll be back. So we're gonna go straight into our Q&A sessions, guys. It looks like we'll get out on time. So thank you again.
I see that somebody asked a question. Chastity, do you mind if I give a crack at it? Take a crack at it?
Most definitely.
So it looks like somebody asked, what type of advertisement ideas would you recommend to drive traffic to a new, since August 2020, for-profit online Metro Atlanta primary school, short of the owner continuing to do online post and reinvesting website marketing tools? And that's really sort of in my wheelhouse, because I do work with small business owners as well. So if I could just throw a few ideas out there, I would say join groups. I would say join groups of maybe Atlanta Metro moms, or look for groups of employee groups of local businesses. So if there's a hospital or school or something near your daycare, start having conversations with those people, because those are the people that are going to patronize your business. And ultimately, what you want to do is build a community. You could even start your own LinkedIn group and provide useful tips on parenting, on homeschooling, on daycare, relevant ideas that add value, and people will begin to look at you as the subject matter expert, as the authority, and appreciate the information that you share and want to participate in your community. And they'll ultimately look for your business so that they can support it and recommend it to others.
Nice, nice. Did anyone else want to take a stab at that question before we move forward to the other questions?
Yeah, I'll jump in. It's a very popular Silicon Valley book by Gabriel. I forget his last name. I met him. He actually was one of my mentors for one of my companies that a lot of people use. It's called Traction, like how any startup can gain explosive growth. And what it does is it breaks down all different. There's only 19 ways that anybody can market anything. And what that book teaches you is how to figure out what those 19 things are and how to apply it to any particular business idea, whatever it is you want to do. And using today's tools, how you can explicitly create objectives and go out and create marketing tests to find out what works best for your business, your idea, whatever. From a growth hacking standpoint, it's an excellent book. And I think it's probably be anything you ever need for learning how to market anything.
Interesting. What would you all say that do you all agree that the premium concept for LinkedIn, is it a yay or is it a nay? And this is a toss-up question.
I can take that one.
As a recruiter.
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead, Andrea.
Oh, well, from my perspective as a recruiter, it's not really necessary, because on our side, we pay to be able to find people whether they have premium or not. And so we're looking for certain skill sets and certain experiences, and are able to reach deep down into our third level connections and beyond based on that. So it's really not necessary, in my opinion, to have premium. Although if you're doing more outbound marketing and you want a campaign, you want more in-mails and things like that, it might be worth it. But if you're simply job seeking and you're not doing a lot of outbound messaging, in my personal opinion, it's not necessary. What would be better is to spend time connecting with the people who you want to connect with, or whose circle you want to be in. I sort of equate it to, and this may be a little PG plus rated, but if you're going out to the club, you don't necessarily want to go up to somebody and say, hey, let's connect. What you might want to do is position yourself in their line of sight and try to catch their attention. And I think it's the same way with job searching. A lot of times you really want to position yourself so that you can be seen by the people who you want to see you, rather than just going up to them directly and putting all your stuff out there.
That's awesome. And that's an awesome way to think about it too. Like PG plus.
I agree with that as well. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, alumnus Liggins.
I would have to agree with that as well, because at this point, I've tried the premium free trial. I don't really see a difference. And if you have a great LinkedIn strategy, people will find you. I don't even have to actively seek people. That's 77 people who are waiting on me to answer them. That's not because I contacted them or anything. They found me somehow, whether it was through networking, whether it was again through those strategies that I mentioned earlier. So I don't think I'll be doing it unless you want to see like who that hidden person is who viewed your profile.
It's a good point. Okay.
I'm gonna probably go out on a limb, and I'm gonna argue on LinkedIn's behalf and say it is worth it, but it just depends on how you use it, right? If you're using it for the explicit purpose to go out and try to specifically contact people through messaging, then yes, I think that's kind of not the best way to use the premium profile. The best way to use it is for data mining for what recruiters are looking for, because you get access to specific keywords, skill sets, and titles underneath every single job description, as well as competitive intelligence reports that you do not get with the regular profile. So for example, I'm a product manager. If I want to get hired for a product manager role from Google, I can search Google, I can find director of product management. And since when I have a premium profile, I can see the high level skill sets as well as the competitive intelligence reports for what recruiters are actively searching for candidates. And then I can go back and I can specifically tailor make my profile so that when recruiters do search for product managers in Atlanta or nationwide, I tend to bubble up to the top. And on top of that, when you are a premium member, for some recruiters profiles, you will automatically pop up to the top because you will be shown as a featured candidate, right? It depends on the search query that they specifically have on the back end as well. So there are advantages to helping it get you to what you want, which is more notice. But you have to make sure that you're not just paying for the profile and not doing anything with it. You should be actively using the buzzwords and the tags and stuff, because all of these search queries are all based on like 6 different meta tags that's being used whenever any recruiter or anyone goes in and searches for a candidate. And if you don't have all 6 of those meta tags on the back end, then you'll go down the list. It's just like any other search engine. They're going off of what people search and then what people click on after they search. You want to be both of those.
Interesting.
Ooh, I want to put on my headset and battle my fellow alumnus CJ and say, from the other side of that, being the person that's searching, a good recruiter is going to dig. And so we're not going to be tricked by those algorithms. And while LinkedIn may serve people up and say, this is the best match, we don't only rely on that. We dig deeper and what might be more helpful than being a featured candidate is being connected to people in the organization. So if I'm looking for somebody with a product management skill set like yours, CJ, and I see that, and I work for Google, and I see that you're connected to several people in the company, and those people have, positive thoughts about you, that's probably more profound, more influential than being a featured candidate.
Interesting. Hey, I like it.
Let me go get my headset.
You're getting it from the
Yeah.
recruiter end and from the technical end. So, at the end of the day, it's pretty much all about how it works for you. So, but at least we know. Last but not least question. Does or should pitching to someone for your product or service right off the bat get you ignored, blocked, or reported as spam? Because I know, in marketing communications, students are taught to develop the elevator pitch to present to employers on the fly. That's why they call it the elevator pitch. But will it turn off most people and ruin their chances of making a great connection? What is the most effective way to lock in the connection and build that relationship?
I'll take that one first. I would say all of the above. It's possible. Some people might not mind, but keep in mind that if it's a CEO or a busy professional, they might receive unwanted emails all of the time. So you want to make sure that you're standing out from the competition. So one thing, hopefully, I know we're in a virtual space now, but if you can start showing up at events that the company is putting on, or maybe if there are career networking events that they have that you can attend, that's always a great start. Or maybe just reaching out to, instead of maybe like the higher up, who's the hiring manager, ask someone who works there and say, what is it like to work for this company, just to get a sense of the company culture. And then maybe not necessarily saying you're actively looking for a job, but just to build that connection. And then maybe later down the line, you can work your way up.
Interesting.
Agree. And if I can use my sort of clubbing analogy again, for people who've ever been to a club, can you imagine somebody coming up to you and say, "Can I get your number? Can I get your number? Hey, can I get your number?" I mean, that is the equivalent of that. So before you start asking for the phone number or anything else, you want to build a rapport. And so it's the same way online as in person. And while people do it and sometimes it's successful, it's not really the way to build a relationship. Going even further, people think about relationship building when they need something, but really you need to build the relationships before you need something, before you need the job, before you ask for the business. So into building the relationships. That way, when you do have something to ask for, you have a foundation on which to base that ask.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alumnus Mitchell, did you have anything that you wanted to close out on?
No, no, not on that one. I'm good.
You good? All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for the questions and the awesome answers. I hope our attendees are definitely listening and tuning in because you all have definitely given us some gems and nuggets on, on the ends from the recruiter side, from the entrepreneurial side, and from the technical side. So, please tune in for our next series of our webinar for LinkedIn, which will occur in January. But
Hold on. Can I jump in? Because I did see that there was a question put in the chat.
there's
Though. I don't know if we want to. Yeah.
there's one more left. You see it
No,
on
it was,
there?
yeah. It was how critical
It's
is
in the
having
chat.
how
Oh,
critical is having your summary on a LinkedIn profile.
hmm
But then want to just leave her hanging and then we close out.
Oh yes. No, please, by all means.
Yeah. I would for me once again, I'm big on search query, and once again for the technical side, that's how I think. It's incredibly important because once again the search query is crawling as many meta tags as you can, so as much information as you can give it that specifically hit certain buzzwords. Based upon those meta tags, that's what's going to help you pop higher up in any type of search query or any list query that comes back. Um, and again, this is why I think it is beneficial sometimes to have those premium profiles, because sometimes you can see commonalities in job titles for what job titles are, the roles and responsibilities or the job description of a job title. So for example, if you search market researcher or senior marketing manager or something like that, companies tend to use similar buzzwords in the same 8 or 9 profiles, right? So if you kind of tailor make your summary to hit a lot of those buzzwords, it will pop higher up the search query. And just like any other search query, if you're searching YouTube, right? If you search, girl, hula hooping, what's going to come back is the girl that has the most meta tags and that's getting clicked on the most. That's how YouTube is going to help rank it. So the more you get clicked on, the more likely you are to get whatever it is that you want from a recruiter. So you want to try to use as much data as you can in your profile. That's my hot take, at least.
That is
One more thing on that. Oh, go ahead. You go.
well, I was going to say, that is so great to see from the data perspective. From my perspective, on the other end, I'm looking for certain things, and just like with resumes, I'm scrolling through quickly. So I need something that's going to grab my attention and make me stop and say, oh yeah, I need to look at this. And if you all don't mind, is it possible for me to share my screen for 2 seconds? Would it be possible?
That would be a question for alumna Dr. Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes? Let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's done. She can share.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. I'm sorry to throw a monkey wrench in, but I just wanted to share my LinkedIn profile to give you an example. What I think is really important, and it's very underutilized by a lot of people, is this real estate right here, which is the header. So many people have the standard blue space dots, looks like a galaxy, but what you can really do is send both overt and subliminal messages by utilizing this real estate right here. So your summary is important. I agree with CJ 100%, but also this real estate to communicate. Now I have a word cloud, so that's words, but you can look at what, let me just show you Oprah Winfrey's, well, that's not it, sorry. Let me just see if I can pull it up really quick. Her background pictures. Oh, no, this is not the right Oprah because this is the standard picture. But let's see if we can find Bill Gates. I know he has a good one. Bill Gates.
Is it the top one?
Yeah, the top.
Okay, I'm sorry. The pressure is getting to me. So what Bill Gates is communicating in pictures is that he's a humanitarian, and these are the projects that he invests in. So if you don't get that from the summary, you can also sort of get it subliminally from the pictures. And some people are visual learners, and they collect messages visually, and some people are, get it from the text, and you want to basically reinforce your message using both methods. So I'm going to just stop there. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that.
And I'm glad you brought that up. You can actually create that real estate in canva.com. That is my go-to for graphic design. And then you can also do other things as well. And also I would definitely like to echo that the summary is very important. So from an entrepreneurial perspective, I don't talk about myself per se in my summary. I talk about the results that I can give my potential client or customer, because it's not about me at the end of the day. They want to know what transformational results can they receive as a result of working with me. So that's where the summary becomes very important.
Exactly. I agree with that. And on top of that, if there are any students on here today, Canva is Free. So you can create all you want on there for the free 99. And if you get anything that charges, I'm gonna tell you the little secret behind that. Just, screenshot it until you make it. As we go back, make it till you make it now, because right now it's all about getting that job. So thank you all so much. I mean, that really was a gem, just like alumna Dyson said. Really is a gem. Thank you all. And y'all got into that. Y'all did that. Okay. I was waiting on you, alumna Henderson, to pull up mine, because I did something kind of similar to that.
Okay.
And I was like, yay. I was like, and now I'm just starting to get all these Clark Atlanta people. And I was like, okay, CAU. Y'all see me, right? Okay. Well, please, guys, don't forget our last webinar that will take place not next Thursday, but November 19th at 6 p.m. That will be our last webinar for this semester. And we're going to kick back up and be innovative and transparent and awesome as ever in January, starting off with our LinkedIn series again, and starting off with our other webinars that will be highly important for the month of January. So thank you again to everyone. We appreciate you being here. Special thanks to my colleagues, Senior Director of Alumni Relations, Ms. Galen E. Gatewood-Joshua, and Dr. Rhodes for their stellar service, and to our fantastic panelists for a remarkable job today. Thank you again to our awesome, marvelous attendees for always coming out and showing us love. We cannot host these or have these webinars without you, and we appreciate you all so much. If you all are not following your Office of Alumni Relations on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, please do so. It's simple. It's either CAU Alumni Relations or Clark Atlanta University Office of Alumni Relations. Or just hit us up on www.cau.edu/alumni, and we are there to serve you always. You all have an awesome day and a great weekend. Thank you for coming and tuning in.